Good morning, everyone.
More, Professor.
Morning.
Good morning. Let's see what we have. Oh, oh. Okay. We don't have many classes. We're almost at the end. So let me do this. Okay. Okay, let me take the attendance, then we'll talk about everything. Oops. This does not work. What else? Okay. Isabel.
Here.
Right. Samuel. Samuel. No. No. Kiland. Gaish. No. Shuchi.
Here, Professor.
Daldin.
Hey,
Okay. Ira. Ira.
Here, Professor.
Yeah, I know you're here. Um, Angel.
I'm here.
Shomik.
Present, Professor.
Kyle. Kyle. Ken.
Here.
Okay. Ken is here. What is here? Kyle is not here. Ken is here. Collins. Collins. Alex.
Here.
Janat.
Present.
All right. Satyendra.
Here.
Okay. Adam. Adam. No. Adam, you're not here. Henry. Henry. Alejandro.
Here.
Tanvir,
Here, Professor.
Benjamin,
Here, Professor.
um, Elia, Elia, no, Robert,
Here.
Carlos, Carlos, no, Rita.
Here.
Okay, so let me see who's not here. So Carlos is not here. Oh, and then this one is Adam. Adam, you're not here. Henry, not here. Collins, not here. A lot of people are not here. Kyle, not here. Let me know if you are. Kayesh, Keland. Why is a lot of people not here today? Okay, a lot of people are missing. Really. 17, 3, 7 people are missing. That's not good. It's not good. All right. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, I'm just having some problems with my internet. That's why I couldn't log in like a little earlier. Maybe for attendance. I don't know if you did it already. I'm sorry about that.
Let me see Carlos, right? Let me,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me put you in.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna be trying to log in into my computer because for some reason it's not working, so I'm in my phone right now. But I'm just gonna keep trying to switch it back. All right.
Okay.
Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mhm. Great. So, command review. We'll be doing this. We have this one. Okay, let me share my screen and then we see what we need to do today. Share screen, share. Okay. Um, so what we have, oops. Okay, so we are probably at 13 or something. Sick. We're probably here. Let me see what we did last time. We did port security and we did spanning tree. And I said that we're going to do outdoor wireless network and host record. Uh, Okay. So today we already did port security and we did this. Port security and spanning tree. And we did some problems. And today we'll be doing outdoor wireless network and then host record. Two more concepts, and that's it. And of course, we'll be reviewing some commands. As usual, no quiz. Now you're in a situation that you need to submit this one, the practice exam screenshot. So again, after chapter 15, as I explained in my last class, if you go to Comptia, after 15.a, you need to go over 8.2.1 to 8.2.6. And then you need to submit 8.3 in TestOut or Comptia. And then take a screenshot of the result. So 8.3 is a practice exam. When you submit it, then they'll tell you, you got 73% right or 96% right, whatever it is, don't worry. Take the screenshot and then submit it in packet tracer. Clear? Is it clear?
This is the work due on Tuesday.
This is due by next Saturday.
Nice.
Professor, it says on Brightspace that it's due on
On
the
Tuesday,
9th.
yeah.
Tuesday, this Tuesday?
Yeah,
Tuesday meaning what date?
the 9th.
The 9th.
9th. Did I give you more than 2 weeks? Okay, let me look at it. Maybe I can change it. Brightspace. Okay, so let me go to Brightspace. Because next week is okay, so what I'll do is that I mean, if I give you on Saturday would be the last day because after that I have to incorporate all the exams, all the tests. So let me do it then. Packet tracer. That's one. Okay. So due date started is fine. So I'm gonna make it Saturday. So Saturday is 13. Okay. So I made it Saturday. So you have until Saturday midnight. Okay, so
And what will we be doing next week?
huh? That'd be due by this Saturday, coming Saturday.
Yeah, what will we be doing in class next week? Will it be the
Review.
final?
So
Okay.
next week is just review. So if you go back, this is what we're going to do today, right? So we don't have much to cover, but outdoor wireless and host record will cover this too, and then do some problem. And if you have any question, I'll ask. And then next week you'll see just according to this one, it's just the review, right? So we'll take a good time reviewing it next week. Okay. So next week I'll tell everything about the exam, how many, but I think there are going to be 12 questions, all are lab questions. So you actually have to go and do it. And every question has 3 to 4 parts, A, B, C, D, sometimes A, B, C, D, E. Some will take you 2 minutes, some might take you 15 minutes. So you have to sort of organize your time. I'll go over everything. In order to do well in the exam or get the certificate is to review and practice. Number one is this one, right? You actually go and do it. If you say, okay, I know how to do this one, if there's a question, I'll go and type this and type this and type that. And then you will get stuck at some point and panic unless you practice. So people who practice, they're the one who actually get the certificate. And if you practice in mind and actually didn't do it, then you'll see that you'll shortfall by 5 points or 10 points and, not get the certificate. If you do not get the certificate, let's say if you don't get 80%, it's going to tell you fail. But fail meaning you just did not get the certificate. In the final, if you get 75%, then you get 75%. So I'll count as you get 75% in the final, which is final is your 10%, so it's not much. You should pretty much know by now your grade, unless you mess up greatly in the final. If you have done all the test out, took quizzes and everything, you know where you are right now, right? But the problem is that most of these students, they get very low grades, C, even D, because they did not do the test out, the Comptia. And you try to do it at the end and you panic. So, test out, you have until Saturday night, right? Because after that, you have final, and then I have to incorporate everything. And then problem is that I have only a few days after final, I have only 2 days or something to submit the final. So I have to do it in a rush. So you have until Saturday to do your test out, finish it up. So if you look at test out, you see that you don't have anything, right? So if you have already done it, then you're good. But some of you, if you have not finished it, then this is the right time, right? Just go to test out as finishing. That would give you 40%. So don't ignore this one. Okay. So for the final, you have to review this one, everything, review your lab, and lab meaning subnet. You have 2 labs, right, for subnet. That one you need to review. You need to review, let me see which lab you need to review. I'll tell you in a second. So, this is the packet address. So I would say subnet, VLAN. Subnet and VLAN. If you review these 2, then it should be fine in terms of reviewing lab. You don't have to review everything. Subnet, there are 2 labs, I think. Review that, right? 3 and 4. And you have 2 labs from VLAN. Review that. See that VLAN, VLAN, VLANs. If you review this one and this one. And then in terms of lab, you're fine. and you need to review the one that I'll be reviewing next week. I'll be reviewing problem by problem, and you need to review that. What else? And something else. And this one, the one that your Comptia 15.a, the practice exam that's due by next Saturday. Do this one. That's a good practice exam. So do that one, and if you do it by Saturday, then you'll have a fresh mind. So it's not much that I'm asking you to review. You don't have to review, go through all the lectures. You don't have to go through all the tests, packet tracer, or all the test out, nothing, right? Just this one, 15.a, couple of labs, VLAN and subnet, right? This one and the one I'll be doing next week. And that should not take you a long time. Only thing is that this one you have to practice one by one, all of them. Because I have seen that, if you don't practice, then somehow you get stuck, you make a mistake and you panic, and then you don't have time. So you lose point, and then you fail by maybe 10 points. Instead of getting 80%, you get 70%, 75%. So that's what, you need to do. Okay, I'll remind you guys again next week about what to do. So for now, so as I said, no homework next week except this lab, but this is from the test out, right? This lab is actually from, you do it in test out and then submit it, and submit this one in packet tracer. Where is this? Where is this? So if I go to, where is that? That's a Comptia. Comptia is changing all the time. And I always forget my password. I don't know what my password is. Hmm? Let's forget my password. Invalid email address or password. So let me see. This is Comptia. CET CUNY Edu. Maybe I have to do. Oh, it might work. Okay, it did work. Comptia. TIA. Yes. Okay. So, um, Oh, I'm already there. Okay. My course. Oh no, maybe this one. Every time it looks different. No. Ilya, are you here? Ilya's not here, I guess. Anybody knows Ilya? I haven't seen him for a while. I sent him an email. Please ask him to reply. He didn't even do anything with Packet Tracer. I told him so. Good. Okay, so my coursework, and then where is that course? Courses now. They change all the time. Routing and switching. Okay. Keep starting. Okay. Outline. So 15A after A dot. So A.1 to A.6, I think, right? So you do A.2.1 to A.2.6, you go through everything, you finish it, you take one A.3. This is a certificate practice exam. You do this one, and then at the end, it's going to give you the result that you did 90%. They said 95% passing. Don't worry about it. So whatever it is, you do it, take a screenshot, and go back to this one and submit the screenshot, right? Right here, submit. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, one thing is that I just want to give one change is still. So I realized today actually that I forgot to grade um the writing assignment. I graded everything. So, and I realized that some of you didn't submit yet. Writing assignment. So if you know them or if you're here, still I'll take up 10%, but submit. Kilan did not submit. Kayesh, you did not submit. And Satyendra, you did not submit. Henry, you did not submit. Ilya did not submit. If you know them, tell them, because this is 15%, they'll fail the course. Right? And I don't want to fail anybody, but you got to do it. I cannot give you even 50% if you don't submit. If you just write something, I'll probably give you 50%, even it's like the worst paper, because I don't want to fail you. But if you don't, what can I tell the department that I gave him 50% because what? He said that he would submit? I mean, you got to have something. So if you know Ilya, tell him. If you know Henry, Satyendra, and Kayesh and Kilan, tell them to submit. Still, I'll take up 10%, but tell them to submit. Otherwise, I really hate to fail anybody. And the 15% is a lot. I just don't understand why you guys are ignoring this. Okay. Anybody has any question before I start?
Yeah, Professor, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible to extend the due date of the lab that was due last night?
What lab was that? This is a
I'm
lab.
pretty sure there was something due last night. I'll double check right now.
The only one was due last night is
Or maybe it was something for Comptia.
the one that I did. No, Comptia is fine. Comptia, if you didn't do it, you can do it. But let me see. Let me see since you mentioned it. I think the only one is due was.
I see. Yeah, okay. I was mistaken. It's just the thing due on the 13th.
Yeah, the one was. This one is due. This one was due on Wednesday, but I extended it to this Saturday. But there was nothing due because this one already done. It
Mm-hmm.
was due November 22nd. So you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, you're
Thank
fine.
you.
Just make sure you do this one, 15.A from Comptia.
Okay.
I mean, this is a little bit confusing, so maybe I'll have to change the style because you have to do it in Comptia and you're submitting here as well. So maybe next time I'll, you know, have to think about it. Okay. So next week there is a major review. Uh, Today less work, but let's see what we can do. Okay. So make sure you go through everything. Okay. You see that? Enable password and secret password. You have a question in the final from here, right? But you just have to know the command. Uh, Virtual set console password or virtual password, which is VTY, right? I think there's a question also in the final. How to set up your console password. So you have to know these things, right? Prevent access through remaining VTI and all those things. Set banner. I believe you have a question, but you have to know if you practice this one, as I said, that it does not work in our normal uh, switch. The first one work, message of the day, but login banner and exec banner does not work. If you do that, it doesn't do anything, only because it's an emulator and somehow it doesn't work, but in your exam it will work. But at least you should practice and you should know it, right? Whether it works or not. And you have to know, when is, what happens when actually the MOTD message of the day banner displays, when the login banner displays and executive banner displays. You have to know. I explained everything here. So you got to know this host name description. These are easy, right? Set IP address, mask, the switch setup gateway, right? So basically adding, assigning IP address and finding IP address of the gateway or router. How do you find it? And how do you assign an IP address to a switch? You cannot assign an IP address to switch because switch does not require an IP address, but you can assign an IP address to VLAN 1. That you can do. So that's what we're doing right here. But using the command show CDP neighbor detail tells you, which router is connected to you. So this way you know the IP addresses of the router. Right? So these are the things you should know by heart. And if you know all those things from this slide, there are 40 of them, but some of them are not useful, but 35, let's say. If you know, I mean, you'll get a job. You just have to memorize them, the command. I'm pretty sure you'll get a job. Unless you don't want to get a job. You want to have your own business in Silicon Valley, that's a different thing. But if you really want a job, I put down everything here just so that you can, prepare yourself for the exam, for the job, for the interview and everything. This is like your guide, little guide, and it's not too much. Okay, default same thing, right? Finding IP address or given IP address is just assigning IP address to the router IP address to either assigning to your device or assigning an IP address to the VLAN one. The similar thing. You have question on this too? Either port speed or half duplex, full duplex. So question would be, your final is like mixed, taking one, saying that, okay, make it half duplex, and then from there it goes to port security and ask you to do something. B, and then C would be assign an IP address to through the switch, something like this. So this one is easy, right? How to make it duplex or speed, right? Remember when you're doing speed 10, meaning 10 megabits per second, not just 10. So we did this and we did this also, right? Creating a trunk port, access port, right? All those come out. These we covered before the midterm. Then this is a concept, right? But if you want to hold time for CDP, because it sends uh, uh, it sends sort of information every now and then. So you have to set the timer for CDP timer. How often it will send to find out who the neighbor is, and then what is the hold time. So some of the things that you might need. Okay. We went over that, right? How do you find out, right? So show IP interface detail will give you all those information, right? Yeah, review these things. You just go there and type IP interface. It's there somewhere. You see that? Here. Show IP interface detail. And you type it, show IP interface brief. You type it and you'll see what it shows about if a device is administratively down or something. And I think I have it. That was in the lecture, right? If you think that, oh, I'm not sure, I forgot, then you go back to the lecture and review, right? This is a concept. What is access port? What is trunk port? And this is where you actually it's all about VLAN. This was to change the native VLAN from default to VLAN 10. So basically you're creating VLAN, making it to VLAN 10. Okay, so review all those things. Remember this one very well. One is that if you want to remove, this is the command. If you want to allow, then this is the command. And remember, allow meaning it will only allow that. VLAN 10. Everything else is gone. But if you had to add something, then this is the right command. Then you're adding on top of the existing one. Okay. Some VLAN command, right? VLAN brief, show VLAN brief, show interface is trunk. So you have to, we went through this, right? So you have to go over this again, one by one, and type it and see what's going on, right? It's gonna give you answers like this. What frame ID is used to send frame through F09? Remember? You created VLAN 20, VLAN 30, or whatever it is, and it's going to, when you type show VLAN brief, and you'll see that N interface FA09, it'll probably be something like this. It's going to show VLAN 20, 30, and VLAN 1 are the one that are allowed. Right? Just refresh your memory practice. Otherwise, you'll forget. Right, so this one is router and a stick. We did that not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So this one is just saying that make it trunk port. But we went through the whole process of creating router and a stick. If you go over that, that's why I'm saying that you have to go over the VLAN, couple of, I think there are 2 labs. If you go over that, then everything else would be, understandable. But, the question would not be like your whole lab. Question would be, mixture of port security and then create a password and then it's going to say, create this one to be a trunk port, something like that. Like this one. Right. Configure gigabit Ethernet 01 and 02 to be trunk port. So you know it's here. For the exam, you have everything in front of you. For the final, I mean not the final, for your interview, you cannot take this one laptop in the interview, and you cannot ask your interviewer that, hold on, let me go to this slide. I know I have it. You cannot say that, right? So basically you have to answer in front of your mind. Create VLAN, assign ports for the VLAN and switch, blah, blah. So this is easy, right? You're just creating a bunch of VLANs and assigning ports. So all those questions that if you did the lab and if you understood, this question are part of that. That's why I have it this way. Create trunk port, and the rest is access port, right? Switch port mode trunk, the rest is switch port mode access. So these are like part of the whole lab. Okay, this is an L3 switch. And again, you're creating trunk port, you're assigning IP address to VLAN. See that? Blah, blah, blah. So you have to go through this one by one. Router and a stick. Your lab has a horror explanation, which is good, but these are the type of question you may encounter. Right. Configure the router to create trunk port. I think we did this one. This is how you create a subinterface. Right? FA00.10. And then you have to encapsulate .10. That's the command. And you have to assign an IP address. And that's it. And if you have created 2 VLAN, then you do it for the other one as well. Create a subinterface Description is not necessary unless they ask you. That's not a requirement. Then we encapsulate it, and then I add an IP address to that particular interface. Right? We did this one. So that's router and a stick. Part of the question is on router on a stick in your final. Okay. So those are the things you have to review again because you might have forgotten. And then we covered spanning tree. Right? So the concept of spanning tree is very nice. Interesting thing is that it's built into the Cisco router. You really don't have to do much, but you can check, you can make a switch to be the root bridge, right? You can change the protocol to rapid PVST. These are the things you can do. You can check, and if something is not working, of course, then probably the software installed in your router is not working. A switch is not working. These are the few things that you can do as an admin, but you have to know how it works and all those things. So these few slides, they're not, they're just what would be used in general. As an admin, that's what you're going to be using. You want to make it a primary bridge, secondary bridge, PBST, plus protocol, few things that you can actually do. And that's what, if there's a question, and there will be, then that's the question that you can answer. But you got to have the concept, because this is good for your interview, even at workplace, that you actually know what it is. And that's what the concept is here in this slide. Okay. And just in the exam, it's not really much, which is good, right? So I have it in a couple of slides, and this is what you actually, if you type show spanning tree, then you can find out all those things. Remember, what is a root bridge, MBAN, what is the priority value, and then whether it's flow forwarding and blocking and was it designated or not. You can find out everything from here. And that's why there's a question, what is the root bridge priority and MAC address? So you can just look at it and then you see what is the root bridge priority. Everything is there. Priority is there. MAC address is there. We went through that, right? So you can answer any of the questions just by typing show spanning tree, and if you know how to find out. Yeah, so we went over this. Then we went over security, port security, right? I think last time, not last week, but the last class, we went over port security, right? And you can configure a port security. You can say how many devices can be allowed. You can also say this is the MAC address that would be allowed, and then the violation, protect, restrict, and shut down. There's a little video you can watch, and it will kind of remind you. But these are the questions that you might encounter. And these are simple, right? Learn port security for MAC address and retain it. That's sticky. Just learning the whatever the MAC address that are connected to the switch. Right. And then violation, different kind of violation. Right. It can say make it protect or restrict or something. Right. And then you have this one also. Same thing. So, not much really, right? There's something here and some commands you'll find here. Right? If it is sticky, you do this. If you manually say that this is the one that can access only to that route switch, then you type this one. And then you have violation, different kind of violation. Right? And then how many maximum of how many devices can connect to that. That's it. I mean, you pretty much have everything here. Question? No? Is it good? So, review this up to 30. I mean, and we did already up to 30 slides. So, go over everything. It should not take you that long. Just, and then what we'll be doing. A few more, not many, maybe 7, 8 slides. Less than that, I see. So review them and then, you should be good and then we'll be doing the final one. Okay. So let's do this before I start the outdoor wireless network. Let's take a break. Okay. So how about we take, so there are two concepts left and then the review. Review will be doing next week, a long review. But let's take 35 minutes break. Is that good?
Professor, let me let you know, I need to leave class earlier because I have something to do for the day.
Okay. So,
So around 11:30 or 11:45, I'll be gone.
okay, that's good. We'll be finishing class early today anyway. But yeah, don't worry, you should be fine, I think. Just remember what to review, okay?
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Okay. So 35, 40. Okay. I'm going to step aside. We'll see in 35 minutes. All right. Okay. So anybody came in late?
I did, Professor.
Keelan. Keelan, you did not submit the paper. If you can submit it, it's 15%. Okay.
Will do. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, you can email me. Otherwise, 15% is a lot, and your grade would be so bad. So make sure you submit it. I'll take off 10%, but at least you get, if you write it nicely, you'll get a good grade. Okay. So Keelan is here. Anybody's here? Anybody else? No? Other people are missing. We got 2 more classes and that's it. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen and then we'll see what is next. Topic is, this one. So outdoor. So it says you are a network technician for a small corporate network. You need to create a network connection between 2 buildings. You have decided that a wireless connection between 2 buildings is the best solution. So you are basically setting up a wireless connection. This is not something you'll be doing as a network engineer. Usually it's done by people who lay down the cabling and all those things. So, but the knowledge is it's good that when you see that you have less signal, you know what the problem is. So that's why this was not included in this course 2 years ago. Then they have included this one. So it's just a basic knowledge, and that's good enough. Okay, so in order to do this, we have to follow TestOut 948. I put it there, and then this is the solution actually. This is how you need to do. So install the proper antenna of the roof, blah, 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 complete the lab. Okay. So this is the solution, right? So, but let's go to 948. So if we go to 948, probably here, 948, 948. So this is rather easy if you know it. If you don't know it, then you don't know it, then you cannot do that. But if you know it, you can just do it like this in 2 minutes. So that's why you have it. You have something like this in the final. So that's why you don't want to miss out. Okay. So you see that? So you need to set up a wireless network so that you'll have ample signals in the walkway or outside of the building. It says the employees have complained about the wireless connection on both building patios. Right? You conduct a wireless site survey and found that the wireless signal is very poor. Okay, so you need to install some antenna. Right? It says what you want to do is that install the proper antenna on the roof of both buildings to provide a high-speed wireless connection between them. Use the wireless survey exhibit to identify weak signal area and determine which type of antenna to use. Right? Install the appropriate web on the roof of each building. Attach the antenna that will provide adequate coverage. So here, there was this was in your homework. So whoever done it, you have done it. Right? It basically gives you you see the bad signal. On the patio, actually, there's no signal. So that's the reason you need to as I said before, there are people who actually have a signal measuring devices and they go walk around and it gives the signal strength in different places so that you as a manager or your manager will decide, where to put the antennas. Okay. So that's what this is about. Okay. So in order to do that, you have high gain antenna, web antenna, and wireless access point. And you already have, this is your instruction, right? So on the shelf expand, so this is in building A and B. So you can have similar question, probably building A only or B only or A and C only, but the process is the same, right? So first you need to expand high gain antenna and drag the high gain antenna directional, right, to the installation area on building A's roof. It's going to be a directional antenna, not multi-directional. You can have multi-directional, then signal is less, or you have to buy powerful high gain antenna. But if it is directional in one way, then it gives more signal or power in one directional and it costs less. So depending on what you want to do. Okay, so listen, using the high gain. So so that means first you have to go to high gain antenna, but you have to do directional, this one. Not omnidirectional, but this one. But it goes, see, that's the problem is that where do you put in? So it's somewhere here, I think. See, I even forget. Maybe inside this. I did not, right? See, I forgot even where he put in. So I think it's on the roof somewhere. Is it here? No. Maybe it's here. So anybody knows? I even forgot. It's on the roof somewhere. Maybe here? No, I did that, right? Where do we do that? It has to be here somewhere. No, maybe here. I did it here. Oh, here. I got it. Okay, see that? I think that's where it is. The rectangle, not the square. How do I know? Okay. See that? So that's why I'm saying that if you either you know it or don't know it. Either you get 100 on this one or you fail. And you drag again on B because that's what they say. Do it on A and B, building A and B. So again, you look for this. Here we go. Okay. So it says install the proper antenna on the roof of both buildings. And in the exam, you may have only A or only B or A and C. Okay, so we did that. Now, if you go back, that is just an instruction. So we did this one. Okay, now it says install number 2, install a web on each roof. Wireless access point, web, okay? Because you need to provide coverage to only the patio area The best antenna choice is directional antenna outdoor. So, so let's go back. So we do a wireless access point, this guy. And same thing, you have to drag, and I don't know where to put it. Let me see. Maybe here. No. Again, same problem. So other one was in the square. Is it in the circle? Oh, so the first one is in the square, high gain antenna, and web wireless access point goes inside the circle. So you just have to know it. Done. Now the third one says if you practice once and then you don't have to, and it's a 1 minute, you can do it in 1 minute. Attach both antenna to provide adequate coverage. Now you have to attach an antenna. First you install the high gain antenna, then wireless access point, then web antenna. So again, it's a directional, that's what we have to do. So if we go back to this one, and it has to be directional, but where do you install it? Oh, here I see, square, circle. Oh, that works. So only first one we have to do it on the square, then rest is on the circle. That's it. Done. If you know it, you can just do it in less than a minute. Anything else? No, that's it. Okay. So then if you do school lab, and you'll see you got everything right. So some lab will take you 25 minutes, probably, even 20 minutes. Right? And you save, you get 12 minutes per problem. So if you can do this one in 1 minute, then you save 11 minutes from here. And that's how you manage your time. Okay. Any question? Simple, right? All you have to do is that take this one, high gain antenna, that goes to the square. Then you do this one. No, then you do wireless access point, and you go to the circle, and then you take the web antenna, all of them are directional, and look for the circle, and you're done. And if you have to do it in both buildings, then you do it the same thing for this building. And it can take 1 minute and it's done, right? I just did it in 1 minute. I have seen in the final similar problem, and it says to install only in one building. If so, you're done in 30 seconds. So you just got some idea about, what is happening and what they do, right? And what is high gain antenna, and then web, and then all those things, and wireless access point. Okay, so this is a giveaway problem you're going to have in the final. Yes? Question? No question? If no question, then this is your giveaway problem actually. So, but I suggest you practice. And your explanation is there, how you actually want to tackle it. The answer is here. I put it there for you guys, so that you don't have to look for it. Okay. Create a host record. You have two server and DNS server that use static IP address. You have two servers and DNS servers that use static IP address on the this is the IP address 192.168.0.0.24 subnet. You plan to install 3 more servers. So you need to create DNS record for these servers on the corporate DC server. So DNS, domain name server, it's translate IP address to name and name to IP address. But in order to do that, you also have to have record in that particular DNS server. So all the servers are connected to the DNS, then DNS servers is connected to a switch, and then that's how it goes out, right? So sometimes a lot of servers, they are interconnected because they're taking information from each other for different reasons. And this one, it says that you are adding 3 more servers, and how do you create DNS record? Okay, so it says follow TestOut 478. Let me see what it is about. I don't know if you remember. Okay, so okay, this is something they're actually using a software tool. So this is a particular software tool. And then if your company does not use this software, other software tool, then use that, right? This one, it just gives you a glimpse of, how the software is used to add a server, right? Sometimes they actually write manually the script. So these are pretty, let's say, high level engineers. They design and they do it, and they said, okay, this is how we need to add servers. And they will probably tell you, use this software, use these IP addresses, and then add them. So you just have to be like familiar at least. This was not included 2 years ago, but they have included it because this is not something that you'll not use it. You'll use it. A lot of companies, every company, once in a while, they add new servers, and then they're adding into the DNS server. So, so, um, so at some point you learn these things yourself, right? All the network engineers at some point will use some sort of software to add servers, write script so that they can talk to each other. So what we'll do is that we'll go to 478. And then this is something that, you just follow. I mean, you just follow it. Nothing is called 478. 478. If you have gone through this one mindfully, then probably you would know why they're doing it. 478. Okay. You have 2 servers and a DNS server that use static IP address. So remember, servers always use static IP address, right? You guys already know it because the outside world has to know it. Your normal computers, laptop, iPhone, whatever you use to connect, these are all dynamic IP address. And remember, that's when they use the private IP address for dynamic. Anytime you're turning on your computer, whether it's connected through LAN, through cable or not, it uses now dynamic IP address. This way they can save IP addresses. all the servers they use static IP address. Servers, printer, right? They all are, or let's say VLAN, they all use static IP address. Same IP address, static, meaning the same one is not going to change. And every time you use, you're going to college, and it may give you a different IP address because it's dynamic, right? So create an IP4 Active Directory integrated. So we have not done anything with Active Directory, right? Active Directory Microsoft base. This is a server that manages all those things. That's a huge area that some people work on this area, just Active Directory, right? They actually manages all the servers in different manner. So we're not covering this. This course is about networking, not servers. You have different kind of servers, SMS servers and Active Directory and file servers and the hundreds of email server. If you go to Amazon, they probably had maybe 500 email server or product servers. So we're not getting into the servers, but only networking. So create an IP4 Active Directory integrated primary reverse lookup zone for subnet. Thus, be sure to accept the default replication and dynamic update setting created. So basically creating a host record, and you have corp server IP address this 1612. So 1 to 3. And DHCP is DHCP, right? This is for, if you have dynamic IP address that needs to be assigned to computers, then there is a server called DHCP, server, dynamically host configuration protocol that manages those. So that is also connected. They're all interconnected usually. And CARP for the web server, right? So they give you all those things. Okay, so for the following hosts, right? So all you have to do is that basically in your exam, it is, I believe probably this is also in the exam. So if it is that the case, make sure that you understand this, but not only that, you need to have this one so you can follow it. Maybe take a printout and put it on the side, because if something, they probably put the similar thing, maybe they'll change the IP address, they'll change the name of the server, things like that. Question in this kind of nature, they're not going to change a lot because they have not provided enough concept for you to play around. But because this is just a software, if you use this software at a workplace, it's the same idea. If you're using a different software, then maybe the UI is a little bit different. So number one, so there are two parts of it. Let me see. It's just a boring thing, but create a primary reverse lookup zone as follows. Okay. In Hyper-V Manager, select Corp Server. Right-click Corp DC. Corp Server. So if I go to this one, Corp Server, and then Corp DC says Corp Server, right click on Corp DC and select Connect. Corp DC, this one. Right click on Corp DC and click Connect. Okay. Then it says in Server Manager, select Tool DNS. In Server Manager, select Tools. Here's the tools, right? And then select DNS. Yeah. So you have to know where the tool is and the DNS is if you don't practice. But there is also here. Same thing, I guess. So hold on a second. It says in the server manager. So this is server manager, I think. So I think they're talking about this tool, not this DNS, this tool. And then DNS, okay. And then server manager, select tool, DNS, expand corp DC. Expand this. All I'm doing is following the instruction. Right click reverse lookup zone and select new zone. Reverse lookup zone and click new zone. Then of course it's going to say click next. Okay, click next. Make sure primary zone is selected. It is selected. Primary zone is selected. See, this is going to take a little bit long time because you're following it, but if you can memorize this step, then you can do it fast and save time. Make sure the zone in Active Directory is selected and then click select next. Make sure it's stored the zone in Active Directory is selected. Okay, good. So I didn't do anything. Next. Okay, so I click next. I have to go to the next one. Mhm. Next, keep the default replication. Next, then keep the default reverse zone. Click next. In the network only field, type this 192.168.161. So it says keep the default. Keep this one as default because it's IP version 4. And then it says put this ID. And this ID is it says 192 for this problem 192.168. Okay. 192.168. So it says omit any trailing zeros that are excluded based on the subnet mask. For example, type 192.168.1 for subnet blah, 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 0. Try omit any trailing zeros. Type 10.1 for subnet this. So this one is based on the question you have in the test out. What we are doing, it may not be the same. So let's look at that because let's follow this one, right? Oh no, is it this one? Oh. Okay, so we're going to follow this one. Okay. So, and this one, you type this, right? 192. So basically, in the network, 192.160 is the network ID. So hold on a second. In the network ID field type 192.160 is the omit any trailing zeros that are excluded based. For example, type 192.160.1 or subnet 192.1. So this one, why does it say type this? Shouldn't it be 192.68 and no 0? For subnet 10.00, you do this. And for example, type 192.168.1 for 0. Now it's confusing. I think we have to put 192.168 according to this instruction. See that? If you don't practice, then I did it once before. But let me do this. 192.160, because I'm following this. 192.168. Let me do this. 192.168. Okay. So keep the default in the network type. Type this. Select next. Keep the default dynamic update setting and select next. Finish. Okay. So now I'm not 100% sure, but let's see if it works or not. I put 192.168, but they're saying the rule says don't put trailing zeros, but they said put zeros. So the network ID is in the point of IP addresses that belongs to the zone. Enter the network ID in the normal, not reverse order. If he uses 0 in the network ID, it will appear in the zone name. For example, the network ID 10 would create zone 10. Okay, let's put this and let's see what happens. So it says use the default and use this default and click on finish. Okay. Let's see if we made a mistake, that means we made a mistake in this one. We put 192.168 based on this rule. But if this is not correct, then you have to come back and do this one. So let's see what happens. Okay, select next, finish. Okay, now we have to create a host. Create a host A and associated point PTR record as follows. Okay, in the DNS manager, expand forward lookup zone. So forward lookup zone. Forward lookup zone. Okay, we did. Right click CorpNet local and select new host. CorpNet lookup. No, CorpNet the local, not lookup. I think it's local. Right? CorpNet local and host. Corporate lookup. Then new host. Right click or just the click? Right click corporate local and select new host. Right click and click new host. Okay. Name. So name is what? In the name field, enter the host name. What is the host name? In the IP address field, enter the IP address. So host name is, here is corp server. over there, host name is hold on. Is it there? Or is the host name? Primary. Okay, so basically, select corp server, actually, okay. So I think it's the same one. So host name is corp serve. See, because it's the same thing we're doing actually. Corp server, SCRVR, and then IP address is 192. I'm reading from here. This 3 needs to be added, 192. If they tell you only 2 needs to be added, then you add 2 of them. Okay? So 192.168.0.10. So I did that. IP address, select create associated point. So I say point PTR must exist for the record to be created. Select add host. Allow, okay, add host. Created record was successfully created. Then I can do the same thing for corp server 16, right? First one is corp server, second was 16, and this is 192.168.0.12. 192.168.0.12. Oh, 192.168, this is 0, not 1. 192.168.0.12. This is, and then you add host. And then you do, so only thing that I'm not sure is when I put down the IP address, whether it's 0 or without 0. No, this is going to be, third one is core file 12. So I think you should practice this one because it takes time if you just follow this way. But if you have done it, .0.13, then it should be fine. You should do it like in 5 minutes if you can. Okay. So I'm done. Okay, then what? I think that's it, right? So what happens? Okay, so done. Oh, do I have to put done for all of them? I don't know if I made a mistake. 12, 16, 12. No, it looks good. This looks good. No, they're there. It shows up. Okay. So if I did not make a mistake, it should do well. Oh, so look at this. So I think, okay, you see that? Nothing is right. So I think that I needed to put down 192.168.0. So this everything is wrong because I think this part is a little bit misleading. Where is that? Should be here. This part is misleading. In the network ID field, type 192.168.0. So omit not trailing 0, but maybe 10. So 192, it says enter 192.168.0. I think that's what you need to put. I put 192.168.0. Okay. So that's the reason everything was wrong. So what I'll do is that, what I want you to do is that go over this, and I myself will go over this again later, just myself. The next week, I'll talk about it if anybody still has a problem. But I think the problem is that this. Everything else we did it right, but make sure that you follow every step. And this one, just type whatever it says, 192.168.0. You will have similar, IP address. It's not going to give you something that you have to think a lot. Right? You just omit the trailing zero. That's it. And in most cases, and it has to be like three sets, 192.168 dot something. So instead of 4, it's going to be 3. And just omit the last one. And it should be fine. I don't want to do it over again, but I'll do it in my own time. But you should practice it, and then you confirm next week that, yeah, that works. And I'm going to confirm that works. Okay. So you need to, I put down already, see 192.168.0.0, you just have to only omit 1 instead of 2. So that instruction is not quite true. Okay. Only thing is that it gives you a list of the IP address and the server name the same way you did it, right? The same way you did it, this one, and that's what you need to put down. That's all. Okay. But we'll practice this one. You practice this one. I practice. I mean, I'll do this one and then see if we getting it right or wrong. I think what the problem is, I know it's whatever they say. You need to put down these things. 192.168.0. Okay. All right. So today we covered outdoor wireless. It's going to take you a minute. Don't take more than a minute. Practice twice. This is an easy problem. It's a giveaway problem. But if you did not do it, then you won't be able to do that. Create host record is something that it's tedious because you have to follow this. But if you have good memory, then you can just do it, right? But if you have to follow the instruction, put that paper on the side and then follow it. But at least do it twice so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right. Now, next week is review. There is one or two more concept that when I review it, we'll talk about it, right? So it's going to be a good amount of review next week. But let me see one thing. One thing I want to see is that I want to see thing is this one. This is going to be fine. Okay, final exam. Now the review is next week. So I don't want to give you more information because you had two concepts today. So I want you to review those two things. This one, let me see what is going on with the. Mhm. This one, oh, this one. Label. So we do this. One second. Why is it not editing? Okay, so we do this, complete the foley, submit, blah, 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 then two is number two. Access list, okay. Okay. Okay, access list. And access list. There's a little concept on access list I have to go over. And a little bit about NAT. The two small concepts that I have to cover. And I don't think I should cover it today. It's going to be too much. These are easy. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Okay. So there are 2 to 3 small concepts that we'll cover in the review next week. So I think it's best to cover next week instead of today. 2 small concept and then second. And then we'll cover everything else. I mean, review everything else. So you should be fine. We should take about 3 hours, we have ample time. We need like 3 hours, 3.5 hours to review everything. But even on the final, if anybody has question, we can go over that. Final, technically half of the time is allocated for the exam, but you will actually take the full time. And I'll talk about, how many, I think it's set up by the test out, and you get, I think, 2 hours. So 12 minutes or something per problem. So review would be at least 3 hours next week. And I don't want to start another concept, and we'll be introducing 2 or 3 new concept next week. Those are new, so you can just follow the instruction and do it. So we'll go over everything. I don't want to do it today. I think it's going to be, it's better if I do it next week. Okay. So today is going to be then early, finish. We're going to finish it now, unless anybody has any question. Anybody has any question?
Professor,
Yeah.
so the finals on the 21st?
Final is 21st, yes. Final is on 21st. All right. Next week review and then final. People who have not submitted the paper, please do so. And if you're not in the class, if the person is your friend, and I said who did not, please tell them to submit the paper. I'll take up 10%, but at least, they'll not fail the course. Whoever did not, and if anybody know them, tell them. Test out, finish as much as you can. Now it's the final week, you have other things to do, and some of you would not be able to finish everything because you're not going to get time. But if you have not done the major one, then do the one that's easier one. Doesn't have many, like 1 or 2 section. Do that one, because every week's homework for test out puts the same point. So if you have to leave out something, that is a lot. Okay. Any other question? No? If nobody has any question, I'm going to be here for a little while. I'm going to leave early today, but anybody has question, I'm still here, ask me. But people who want to leave, then have a great rest of the weekend.
Hi,
Professor,
Professor.